Welcome to Forge Build. I don't even know what number video this is. Well, I do think it's video number 4, but whatever number it is brought to you by our friends at Hard Luck Forge, who has supplied all of the castable and fire bricks and everything that I've been using to make this forge. The insulating wool and all that. Alright, so for this rigidizer that I put on that is now dry, I need to heat that up. I don't want to use the burners that I built just because I think that'll get too hot. So I got my weed burner, and I'm going to fire this up and just heat this puppy up. We'll see if I can get it hot enough. I think it said 1600 degrees. That's pretty hot. So I may end up having to use the burners, but we'll see. I think this will work. Alright, so everything's cooled off now, and yeah, that rigidizer, once it's baked on there, man, that rigidizes. It's really quite crackly almost. So I've got some 5-pound bags of Cast-O-Lite 30. I'm going to mix these up 5 pounds at a time. I don't think I'm going to need, I've got 20 pounds worth. I don't think I'm going to need 20 pounds. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but that seemed like an awful lot. But I'm going to start off with 5 pounds at a time. It is 3 ounces of water, so you know, one of these little medicine cups basically, or 3 of these little medicine cups for every pound of Cast-O-Lite 30. If you go to Hard Luck Forge, you can get mixing instructions and everything you need to help you out with that. It'll show you exactly, you know, how to mix it, how to cure it, and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to go ahead, dump all 5 pounds into a tub here, put in 15 of these little cups of water, and mix it all together by hand. Wear gloves, and hopefully it'll come out the right consistency. Okay, so one of the things I saw to determine if you had it to the right consistency was to make a ball out of it and then throw it up and catch it 5 times. And if it falls apart, you don't have enough water in it. If it holds together, you got enough. So I'm getting real close to where I want to be on the water. So I'm just going to go maybe a couple ounces at a time here until I get it right. I cannot get that refractory to stick to the KO wool to save my life. Tried spritzing it with water, and it's not gonna stick. So I've got to figure out a different way. I'm gonna have to turn the forge, I think, on its end and get some kind of form in there that I can use. I think to, I don't know. I gotta figure this out. I found this hunk of PVC pipe. I'm going to try sticking that down in there and seeing if I can get some refractory to stay around that a little bit. I'll have to do it in sections, but I think it'll work. Alright, so let this be a lesson to you. Plan out how you're going to lay your refractory before you finish framing out your forge, because this would have been a whole lot easier if I hadn't welded it to the stand so that I could have flipped it upside down and used gravity on my side rather than having it set up. So like, there it is. I had to flip it all the way upside down. I was down on the floor. I couldn't move the camera fast enough to get it. I don't know if you can see inside there, but all I have is the top of the forge done. You know, where I could use gravity to help me out. So I'll have to wait for that to set up, mix the next bag, and then I don't know, maybe I can get the sides at that point. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, this is, I don't know. We'll make it up as we go, I guess. Alright, so I tipped it up on its end now. It looks like everything's behaving along the top there. I threw the fire bricks in so I know how far down to take it, and I'm going to try doing the ends here and the door with the next batch. I've got 2 5-pound bags of this stuff left, so got 1 5-pound bag for this, and you know, for the door, and this, and then hopefully some of the sides, and then the other 5-pound bag for the other side to finish that and the door, and any touch-up work I have to do, and hopefully I have just enough. Alright, so I'm looking pretty good. Got the door done except for, this would be the bottom. I'll do that in the green cast 94, the more flux resistant one. Got the end here all the way done, you know, except for that little part right there. Once I pull the fire bricks back out, I'll cast that in the green cast 94. I got the burner holes done for the most part. There's one little spot on the top of both of them, but when I flip it back over, I'll get that. And then I'm more than halfway down on each side, so I'm looking pretty good. I'm going to put some parchment paper in between the end and the door and close it on that side. Flip it over gently and see if I can get the other side without disrupting everything. Alright, what I thought was another bag of Castellite 30 is actually a bag of green cast 94, which is just another castable. It's got a higher flux resistance or whatever. Not, I guess, ideal for what I want, but it'll work. So I'm gonna, I mean, I don't have anything else, so what other choice do I have? I'm going to go ahead and throw this on the back side here. So I'll tell you what, this whole refractory thing has turned into a multi-day process that is, I don't know, the most stressful part of the build. I feel like I'm doing everything wrong. Don't know if I am or not. But I got the backside end and door done. Now I've got to put it up, you know, flat, back on the stand, upright, and get the bottom of the forge and the little bit of the sides that I didn't get. And let that dry, and then start curing it with heat. So this part's going to be really nerve-wracking for me. I've got to close everything up and stand it back upright without dislodging the stuff that I have done over the last couple of days. So wish me luck. Here we go. So before we continue with this, let me tell you about Hard Luck Forge and encourage you to go visit them for all of your refractory, for your insulating wool, for your fire bricks, for your rigidizer, everything you need to put together a forge. They've got complete forges, they've got burners, that you can do a whole project yourself with everything you buy there. You can get parts for what you need. I mean, they've got everything you need, and it's free shipping, so you're not gonna beat the price. Are we ready to see if everything held up? This is the scariest part, because this door was bouncing around pretty good while I was trying to tip it upside down and upside right and all that stuff. So, hey, here we go. Something fell. What is that? Oh, that was just everything that landed on the parchment paper. Okay. Wow. Looky there. Everything's like upright and stuff. There she is. I've got to get the bottom and then just a couple inches up on each side. Then I've got to get the bottom of that and let it dry, and then yeah, I mean, some of it, I don't know, see, it looks like there's cracks in it already, and I mean, I haven't put any heat to this. This has just been drying and drying and drying. So I may, if there's enough of this green cast 94 left after getting the bottom and the little bit of the sides, I'm gonna do like a skim coat over a lot of it to see if I can, you know, add a little more strength to some of it. The other thing is, you know, all those forge builds you see on YouTube are usually, you know, half the size of this. So this is a lot longer than some of those, and I think it's that length which has been stressing me out, because I mean, it's just hard to reach my arm in there all the way to get some of those areas. But smaller forge should go better. So there it is, final skim coat. I touched it up a little bit where it looked like that Castellite 30 was cracking a little bit. But we got the floor, and then it runs up the sides a little bit. And hopefully I left enough space in there for the fire bricks to fit back in. But I don't want to put them in until the castable is set, so that they don't just stick in there. I also noticed that I may have gone too light on these hinges. I may, you know, thankfully it's just the doors and I can fabricate more hinges anytime, but I'm thinking I may have to do like, I may have to actually make some hinges like you would on a wood fireplace, you know, a big sturdy hinge on top and a hinge on the bottom, and have the door swing wider, because these little things I just don't think are going to hold up real long. And I think that's where we're going to leave off for now. I've still got to let this cure for another 24 hours, and then we can start firing it real slowly. We just got to build the heat really slowly. The Greencast 94, I was reading, you know, has a much slower heating up process than the Castellite 30, but the Castellite 30 will still respond, I think, to the slower process, because I mean, eventually we'll get to the right temperature for both of them. But oh my gosh, this has been the most stressful part of this whole thing, is getting this refractory to stick and to mold and to act right. And I'm hoping this curing part, if you screw that up, you know, everything cracks and start over. So I'm gonna let this sit for a good 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. I'm really kind of running out of time, so I can't waste too much more, but I also don't want to rush this part. This is the part you can't rush. If you rush this part, you screw everything up. So anyways, I'm going to end it here. If you would like to see more in-depth coverage, watch the Patreon video. You can go sign up for my Patreon. There's a link in the description below, for as little as $1 a month. And you'll see every struggle, every thought process I went through with this. And there was a lot more than what I could put in the YouTube video. So you can go check that out. Otherwise, I will catch you on the next video when we fire this thing and cure the refractory and figure out how to mount the burners and just get one step closer. Still got to paint it too. So we'll get there. We're closer, and every day it's one more step. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.